Hey friends, it's Matt with Bowls, and today we are taking a look at the social deduction game of Dune Betrayal. Let's go! Dune Betrayal is a quick-playing game of bluffing and deduction for 4 to 8 players. Each player is secretly assigned to either House Atreides or House Harkonnen. Since most players won't know who their allies are throughout the game, they will have to deduce and suss out their friends from their foes, and lead their team to victory through proper deductive reasoning and pure instinct. But, unlike many other social deduction games, Dune Betrayal isn't the many good versus the few bad. The teams are about evenly weighted, but making your secret identity too obvious will still make you an easy target for assassination by your enemies. So take careful consideration with all the actions you make. During setup, each player is dealt an identity card face down. This card will either assign that player as House Atreides or House Harkonnen, but also as either a noble or a fighter, so one of 4 possible roles. This is your big secret that you don't want anyone else seeing, so be careful with it. After players are given their identity card, they are each dealt 3 trait cards. These cards will be used throughout the game for other players to get hints and clues as to what your role is. The trait cards come in 3 types: Atreides, Harkonnen, and Fighter. Each player takes the 2 trait cards that apply to them and place them face down in front of them, and then discard the 3rd under their identity card just to get rid of it while keeping it hidden. For fighters, they keep their house card and the fighter card, and for nobles, they keep both house cards. Then, each player is given their target cards, 1 attack and 1 defend, to be used later. Finally, the Harkonnen nobles secretly learn the identity of their fighters. Now, the game moves into the first of 3 distinct phases. First, the action phase. The dealer deals out 3 action cards face up from the deck, and any duplicates are discarded and replaced. These cards do a variety of things and will help players either suss out the identity of other players, help them score points, help them defend themselves from attack, and things like that. Once the cards are dealt, players go around the table taking one of the action cards and placing it in front of them. The dealer then replaces that card with another, again replacing any duplicates. Some action cards will have an immediate effect, which you do right away. Other cards, they're held onto for the next phase of the game. But there's a lot more to keep in mind than just which card is the best to take. Each card, in addition to its effect, also has an icon in the upper corner. The icons score points for either Atreides, Harkonnen, Noble, Fighter, or any player. So keeping a close eye on which cards everyone else is drawing might hint at their role. And many action cards let players peek at another player's trait cards. Remember, these trait cards hint at a player's full identity. However, once a trait card has been peeked at, it is shielded, meaning it cannot be peeked at again by anyone. Well, usually. There are 3 rounds within the action phase, so each player will have drawn 3 action cards by the end of it. Then we move into the targeting phase. During the targeting phase, which takes place over 2 rounds, players will go around the table taking their turn of targeting other players with attacks and defenses, and using any remaining action cards they collected during the action phase. Some cards allow placing tokens on another player's identity card, either an Atreides seal or a Master of Assassination. These tokens will cause players to either gain or lose points, but only if given to the correct house. Otherwise, they have no effect. Sigils cause Atreides to gain points, and assassinations cause Harkonnen to lose points. Once a player has used an action card, they target another player with one of their target cards, either attack or defend. The target card is placed face down on top of another player's identity card. Attacking will cause that player to lose points, and defending another player will cause them to gain points. So attack people you think are your enemies and defend the ones you think are your friends, and argue and bicker over who killed who. After 2 rounds of the targeting phase, the game moves into the scoring phase, which they call the combat phase. Each player goes around the table revealing their identity and scoring themselves. For example, this Harkonnen fighter was attacked twice, given an assassination token, and drew these 3 action cards during the action phase. They gain 1 point from Mind Games and Ornithopter Escape, since they both have the fighter icon. They also gain 1 point for worm sign, since this icon grants 1 point to any player. Fighters lose 1 point if they are attacked at all, no matter how many times, and they also lose 1 additional point for the assassination token. So, all told, 3 points for the action cards, -1 for getting attacked, -1 for the assassination, balances out to 1 point. Since this player is Harkonnen, they move the score marker to the left 1 space. Then each other player scores themselves and moves the score marker based on their house and score. Then, once all players have done that, wherever the score marker lands determine which team wins. And that's the game. What I really like about Dune Betrayal is that it's not just a game about having to lie about your identity. Since it's not just the one betrayer against everyone else, no one is left feeling like they are the only one having to hide. Everyone in this game is trying to hide all the time. This gives Dune Betrayal a really unique feeling among other social deduction games, where it can sometimes just feel like an uphill battle when you're the single villain going up against everyone else. So if all that sounds interesting, please go check out Dune Betrayal. If you liked this video, check out some of our other videos here, or you can check out some of our other board game videos down here. Again, I'm Matt with Bowles. Thanks for watching. Bye.